Tesla had a huge hit on their hands with the Model 3, but selling a sedan in a market that's long shifted to SUV was always going to be a challenge. Now its SUV cousin, the Model Y, is here, so let's go take a look. I was expecting the Y to be a stretched and jacked up Model 3, but in person you quickly realise it is a lot more than that. Well, from the front it looks similar, in other angles it looks more like a cross between a 3 and the larger X. It is definitely significantly larger in every dimension, wider, longer in the wheelbase and higher off the ground. Those dimensions make for significantly more interior room. Those in the front row will appreciate the higher seating position and easy entry and exit. In the rear you get a significant 4.3 centimeters of extra headroom and a huge 13 centimeters of extra leg space. It also feels lighter and airier. It remains 5-seat for now, and no word on when the 7-seat option seen overseas is coming to New Zealand. Load capacity grows massively. Boot space goes from 425 litres in the 3 to 854 in the Y with the rear seats up, and nearly 2,000 litres with it down. You should note though that the rear false floor is only rated to carry 68 kilograms, the lower floor are healthier but still light, 129 kilograms. There is a further 122 litres available in the front. With the rear seats down you have so much space I reckon you could camp at a stretch. And just a little detail for the Tesla nerds out there is no beam across the glass roof unlike the Model 3. The Model Y will charge like a Model 3 at up to about 170 kilowatts in New Zealand we've generally found, and it'll charge really fast on the superchargers or ChargeNet's hypercharge units that are out there. Of course, on an AC unit like the one we're charging here on, you'll get about 11 kilowatts max from the car. All pretty good, and that even means on a top speed AC unit, you're only really going to be charging for about 5 or 6 hours at most. So let's unplug the car and go for a drive. There's a lot of Model 3 here in the Model Y, you know, right down to this open pore wood on the dashboard. I know it's a little bit controversial, some people like it, some people aren't a big fan. Of course, the standout feature that they both share is this huge touchscreen here. In the Model Y you get the same new updated processor and software that we've seen recently in the Model 3, and if you go back to our review on EVs and beyond, we really love that setup. There's so much you can do in here, from mapping to locking to security, setting up the various driver assistance features, right down to things like getting the steering wheel set and memories for various other items. It really works, it's really good. There is still no Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, which I'm not entirely happy about, but you know, the Tesla system is so good you can kind of get away with it, but it doesn't work in particularly well with things like text messages on Apple iPhones, and I'm an Apple user, so that is a bit of a frustration for me, but still it's pretty good. And they give you some of the best wireless car charging pads in the market. They work really well, you don't have to be too finicky about where your phone is sitting, and you've also got multiple USB charging points. Now, Tesla doesn't advertise battery capacities, but as we understand it, this is the same 60 kilowatt LFP unit, LFP being, I think, the best formulation for the New Zealand market that's found in the Model 3. It gives a claimed range, thanks to Tesla's efficiency, of 455 kilometers. Now, I think that is a little bit ambitious, and I think really you should take kind of 350 as your number if you're planning. And if you're really wanting to do some spirited driving, expect less, of course. We, on our test so far, saw a range of about 270 kilometers, but that did include some quite quick open road driving. So what annoys me about the Model Y? Well, one thing, this happens with the Model 3 as well, and it could be fixed with a simple piece of hook and loop tape, and that is the foot mat keeps on coming off the footrest, and it's annoying. It's not a big problem, but it's really annoying, and it's my pet hate in this car. The rear wheel motor output is reported to be 255 kilowatts, and it does feel quick, though I'm not sure it feels quite as punchy as a 3 and is a little slower on the 0 to 100 km/h run. You can order the performance all-wheel drive, but that's an extra $30,000 more. It overall steers well, it's nice and responsive, and the ride is definitely an improvement over the 3 on New Zealand's broken road surfaces. Autopilot remains the best driver assistance system on the market. It's not perfect, but it's pretty darn good. As of today, because Tesla pricing is a little bit dynamic, the Model Y is available in this standard form for $78,243 drive away. Now, if you take into account the government's clean car discount, that brings your price down to under $70,000. That's great value. And it makes an interesting question. That's about $3,000 more than what you can drive away in the Model 3 for. But you're getting so much more. The Model Y makes such a convincing case for why it should be the Tesla that you buy. But what outside the Tesla range should you consider? Well, the most obvious choice is the Hyundai Ioniq 5. But at the price of the Model Y, it can't even get close on performance, and it's still short on space. Now, if you want to spend a little bit less and go broader into the market, there are other options. You can look at the Mitsubishi Outlander PHEV at about $61,000, and you get a $5,700, I think, rebate on that. The MG HS Plus EV, I'm a big fan of that as well, and that's only $51,000. Or for under $50,000, you get into the Toyota RAV4 hybrids, which are kind of the summary of a Kiwi family SUV. But of all those great cars, none of them have the cachet, the performance, the technology, or definitely not the value that the Model Y offers.